Hi guys, welcome to Simproved, Fry speaking here, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. And today we are going to build a base game plus a tiny living stuff pack build. This is something that you guys asked for since I did my micro home. That is actually a huge micro home, and we do this here as well for just 8 Sims. So up to 8 Sims can live here. This will have the micro home bonus from the tiny living stuff pack, and you gain lots and lots of super cool skills really quickly in this. And you will have enough space for 8 Sims. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So we start in Windenburg because I wanted it to be a loft again. I think that the whole trick with the huge windows made out of roofs is a really cool trick that we can use. And also, of course, I wanted to perfectize, is that a verb? I wanted to perfect the loft that I used in my micro home build big tutorial, and lots of you have also asked for a micro home that is for 8 Sims with these tricks. And yeah, here we go. I made it a warehouse kind of factory building, and therefore I chose just Windenburg as my setting. This is a world that you get if you have Get Together, but we're not going to use Get Together. This is basically only base game and the tiny living pack. But I think for those who don't have the tiny living pack, it's basically just the interior, you know, chairs and all that stuff that is, of course, massively used like tiny living. But yeah, you can also download this with just base game and it works just fine. Just make sure to have, you know, an interior that works, because, you know, of course there are some Murphy beds in there and you kind of have to replace them then, of course. But yeah, this was basically also kind of like an experiment for me. It was kind of fiddly because I wanted it to be really huge. I had to place the walls separately so that game doesn't think that I used like a whole room. We have talked about how to build a micro home and trick the game, but still it being quite a big house. In a tutorial, if you want to see that, it's up on my channel if you want to. I will not go into so much detail, but I just can tell you that it was kind of fiddly to figure out, you know, when I need to use some kind of room or plate to play stuff, and then later I had to delete it. So we will have that counter of the tiles go up and down all the time. But in the end, it will just have 30 tiles usage, which gives it the micro home bonus. Basically, your sim then has like double relationship gain, double skill gain, and like gardening is also twice as fast, and all that crazy bonuses that are especially cool for, I don't know, like 100 baby challenge. I've seen a lot in the comments that people build micro homes or use that kind of trick, so they have a huge house for their 100 baby challenge and stuff like that, which is really cool. And this would work here as well, but I didn't put any children's beds in here because in my mind it was kind of more of a old warehouse that like artists, like an artist commune or something, is using. So for me it's also kind of like a student thing maybe. This is a really open space, and I also thought it's maybe like a kind of roommate kind of thing, so it doesn't really look family like, so there's like no nursery and crib, but you can easily, of course, for your gameplay put that in there. By the way, this build is of course up on the Sims 4 gallery if you want to download this for free. I will put the link to the gallery in the video description down below so you can get it there, and you can also find it under 8 Sim Factory Loft, I think it's called, on the gallery under my EA ID Simproved. So yeah, I really hope that you're gonna like this, and we are using lots and lots of glass roofs here. So since this is like a huge building, I had that fear that there's not enough natural light coming in, which we definitely need for like a large building like this. And therefore I used lots and lots of glass roofs on top and also on the side, and it will look absolutely amazing. And also, since there is this plant growth bonus, I wanted to have lots and lots of light for the plants. You know, I mean, in the game your plants don't really need light, but I just thought for my realistic purposes, I just thought, okay, this would be such a cool like converted greenhouse / living space, and therefore I went with that. And yeah, it was kind of fiddly to put all of these tiny helping rooms in, then deleting those rooms, then putting the wall singularly in there. So I have these columns that basically build up the whole house and roofing. But yeah, it was fine. I use the copy tool a lot when I do roofing, so symmetrical builds are always a little bit more easier than non-symmetrical builds, because you can always copy it and just turn it to the other side and it's all fine. Which I did here as well, and yeah, I really liked how it turned out, and I thought for the exterior it still was a little bit unpolished and undecorated, so I used these base game arches. I don't know what they're supposed to be, but in that kind of setting, it kind of reminded me of old harbor warehouses, and they have these round windows here sometimes. Like, this is old Dutch colonial style, I would say. And I really liked that, and I thought, oh, this is cool. We can use these kinds of decorations a lot. And lots of you have also complained that these houses that use that trick are really hard on the lighting. Like, the lighting doesn't really work in the game. That's technically like partly true. Let me explain it a little bit. The lighting for lights is connected to the rooms. Since we are not using any rooms or trying to avoid those rooms, so we get the micro home bonus, you have to set all the lights at once. This is what I do. So I have like nice lighting before the night hits. So you just click on one of the lamps and say set, like, I don't know what it says exactly, but it's like all lamps, activate all lamps or something. Then you have beautiful lighting. I especially looked up the lighting here on this build, so it looks really, really nicely and really cozy still. You know, and I decorated the hell out of it, so it looks really, really nicely decorated in the end, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna love this. And yeah, it's a huge loft, and this would have been like my favorite roommate factory loft that I would have lived in as a student. I think it looks absolutely amazing. And it's kind of a little bit more interesting than just a normal family home, in my opinion. But yeah, just write in the comments what you want to see next. I have seen all of your suggestions so far. Lots of them were double or stuff that I've already built, like in the past. So I'm not that into, you know, redoing those. But yeah, if you have any more ideas what I could build next, like, is a family home something that you really want to see? Because I'm not like a big fan of building them. I mean, I like to build anyway, so I mean, I can make something work. But if you have like something that you really, really like to see, then just write in the comments down below, because I usually always read the comments. I usually always wanted to answer all the comments, but since the micro home video was like such a huge success on my channel, lots and lots of comments pour in every day, and I have like a real-time job, you know, like YouTube is just a hobby. So I also want to use this video to apologize if I didn't answer you, because it was just too much. I got like 100 comments per day, and it was a lot. I'm really, really happy that you comment, but I can't answer all of you. I can, though, you know, read all of your comments, and I really hope that I can address them here in this video. So yeah, here you go. Lots of you asked for an 8-sim micro home with that cheat, and also lots of you wanted to see the factory building from my tutorial, which I accidentally deleted. So here's my factory loft again, just a little bit better in my opinion. And you can download this for free, put into your game, and it works just fine. I've play tested it. Make sure to use the move objects cheat before placing this house, so everything is there where it's supposed to be. And also then I think the game doesn't crash. I mean, some have said that some builds crash. Please write me in the comments if this happens on this build as well, because I think it has to do with the gallery, not with the build itself. I will figure something out then. So yeah, please write that in comment as well, and I will try my best to fix that somehow. And yeah, I really liked how the show live edit object stuff looks. There's like some overgrown bushes that you can put on the walls, and I thought, oh yeah, I want to have like this greenhouse kind of style, winter garden greenhouse style, and I thought that's really, really cool, since that was like my first thing that I wanted to implement, like the having like a nod to the green thumb thing that you get as a bonus. And we have 4 Murphy beds on the sides. So there are 2 on one entrance and 2 on the other entrance. So up to 8 sim have a place to sleep there in a real bed. Well, a Murphy bed, if that's considered a real bed. And also I want to apologize for those Americans who said that's not right, that like a Murphy bed is typically American. Lots of you are Americans and said that, you know, Murphy beds are something that they in real life haven't seen like in the flesh neither. So I wanted to apologize. I think it maybe is a thing, but not as, you know, popular as a lounge sleeping sofa thing. So I think just in general, maybe in The Sims, it's something, I don't know, that creeped inside of like Sims 3 times, and then I just wanted to do that as a revival. But I still really hope that we one day get like a lounge sofa that they can pull out a sofa into a bed or something. That would be something that interests me a lot more, because it's something that I slept on for quite a lot of years until I get like a real bed once. I thought that would be really, really interesting to maybe incorporate more stuff that is, I don't know, that people really use, you know, around the world. And apparently sleeping sofas is just way more common than a Murphy bed. But who am I to judge? I mean, I like the whole thing with the Murphy bed, why not? It's something new, and I always like new stuff, especially if it gives us more space and looks a little bit better than some of the beds that we already have. So that's always a plus. And here you can see me doing a bathroom. For those who are new subscribed, like lots and lots of people are new here to my channel, I want to say hello again. Hi, welcome. I really hope that you enjoy these builds, and you can always write in the comments what you want to see. But yeah, for those who don't know, I rarely show my bathrooms, but this time there are 2 bathrooms. They're absolutely mirrored and look the same, and yeah, your Sims can use them. And yeah, that's a rare occasion in one of my videos, because usually I always tend to cut out the bathrooms, because a bathroom usually has a sink, a bathtub, or shower, or both, and a toilet, and I think that's so boring. Why should I show that? But here you go, you have 2 bathrooms. They're fully functional and they work fine. And yeah, basically in the interior design, as you could already see, there are lots of planters. I already planted some of the, you know, normal plants in there, but you can easily delete them and then really use that green thumb of your Sim and like put stuff in there and grow stuff in there. It works just fine. I myself hate doing skills and just playing the game in general, so I just thought, okay, for me personally, for my aesthetic, I already filled these planters so it doesn't look so empty. And there are also some potted plants, no, whatever, pot plants, and you can use them as well, of course, like for the gardening skill for your Sims. I think there's also a bonsai tree, which is also for the gardening skill, so your Sims can gain the skill there as well. And that is when I started to put in all of the things from the base game where you can get a skill. So there's some cameras for photography, there's a fitness like punching bag thing, there's a piano and lots of musical instruments, and there's also an easel and lots of computers. I think 3 laptops I've placed somewhere. So yeah, like the basic skills are all there, of course, like a mirror and stuff for charisma. So yeah, I think I have covered all of the skills that you have with just base game, that you can have as like objects to gain that skill or up that skill. And the rest is just tiny living and base game, basically, because I wanted as many people to be possible to download this, especially for the interior. I thought, okay, if you don't have tiny living, you don't really care about the microhome stuff anyways, because you don't have that bonus. But I really think if you just start like a new legacy or challenge, like these bonuses are absolutely broken. Your Sims are so overpowered then. This is just, I love it. Like, I love it. Please get that stuff back just because for that bonus. That's really, really cool. In my opinion, that's one of the, you know, it's kind of like a cheat for making it easier to play the game, but it isn't a cheat then. So for those who don't want to cheat but still want to kind of feel as if, you know, they progress more, there you go. You need that stuff back. Oh, of course, we have a bar so you can get the mixology skill. I think that's a base game skill as well. And yeah, lots of plants all around. I wanted it as green as possible and use like the light from the big windows that are actually roofs. And yeah, I really like the tiny living black option here. I used as many tiny living objects that I could, and all of them came like in a black swatch as well. And I thought, okay, this looks a little bit more industrial here and also goes well with the brick wall here. So I just thought it looks a little bit more soothing than the white swatches or the very, very colorful swatches. But like I said in some of my videos already, I know that lots of you guys download these houses, just delete the whole interior and do the interior themselves, which is totally fine. I would love to see some pictures of that. Like if you do some kind of renovation, I would just love for myself, you know, for inspiration to see what you do with it. You know, tweet me on Twitter, on Instagram. I mean, there are lots and lots of ways to show me your amazing creations, which I always love to look at. And also there's a Discord, so if you want to join that and share some pictures of your simming there as well, that would be really cool. And yeah, this is basically all that I can say about the interior design. I really love the like multiple pictures that I put up as collages. I think it makes it so much more lived in and like kind of cluttery, since we don't have that many clutter items with just base game. I mean, there are a couple, but I like the whole thing. I also like the whole thing with the kitchen being in the middle. And I haven't used that kitchen for so long. It's a base game kitchen and it's one of my favorite kitchen, even some kitchen sets with the counters and stuff. And I thought it's like a really, really cool idea to use. And it also kind of has this industrial kind of feel, so I thought, oh, this is beautiful, we need that. It's actually really cool to just build with base game now, because lots of you guys were actually really happy that the last castle, I think, was also base game, and I really try my best to not use as many objects, although I'm pretty sure that like my next build will use all of the packs again, or at least I don't want to restrict myself. But yeah, it was kind of interesting how different with all of these updates that we got since The Sims 4 came out, like how many free objects there is in just base game. I was actually really surprised. So in my opinion, base game is pretty cool already. Like for a hardcore simmer, I was kind of surprised how much stuff we have just for base game, especially that looks kind of more modern and a little bit more versatile, because I think like when I started building in The Sims 4, I always wanted to go for modern because that's just my own aesthetic that I like a lot. And that's just what you usually do, you know, you build like your own dream house and stuff. And there wasn't like much stuff where I was like, oh, that looks cool. It's like, it was all like, okay. But this time, like, it's really cool. I think we got like more color swatches for everything and over the years. So that's pretty cool. Free stuff with free updates. So that's really, really cool. And I really liked how it turned out. Here you can see the last bit that I did. This is the 30 tiles that actually count through the micro home. And this is the upper lounge living room area with a fireplace and a bar again, so you can sit there, have a drink, watch the Super Bowl, stuff like that. And yeah, I really hope that you like it, guys. You can see me doing lots and lots of lights at the end, and yeah, so it looks really, really cool also at night. And you can see the whole big lofty space. And if I remember correctly, we should go into the video tour now. Yes, here we go. So as always, at the end of my videos, there is this slow video tour where you can have a good look at everything in like final panning shots and like kind of video shots, so you can see everything, because you know the speed builds are always kind of speedy and it's hard to capture everything in every angle, and I try my best to always record kind of like a video tour for you guys. So here you go. This time I didn't do like the upper and down top view. Oh, maybe I can add this at the end of the video for you guys, just so if you want to rebuild this also. And yeah, this is basically my Dutch colonial factory warehouse building turned into a modern artistic gardening commune house, if this makes sense. I really love the whole glass roofs. It looks really, really cool, and it's still, for such a big building, very detailed and decorated, which is for me always very important, that every angle of it looks really, really nicely decorated and makes kind of sense, you know, in a broader way since it's Sims 4. But yeah, it totally works. You get all of the bonuses. I tested this, of course, and yeah, my Sims were all kind of happy and lived their a nice life there, like for 3 days, I would say. I think I haven't tested it anymore. this is my house, guys. I really hope that you like it. Feel free to download this. This is up on the Sims 4 gallery, and I will put the link to the Sims 4 gallery down in the video description for you guys as well, so you can grab it there and use however you like. And as always, you can write me in comments down below what you want to see next, what kind of builds you want to see. And I also want to say thank you for so many newcomers now. Like, my channel is growing kind of fast now. I'm kind of overwhelmed. But I'm really happy that you like the builds, of course. If you have any kind of criticism or what I can do better or what I should do, yeah, just write it in the comments down below, because I always read them. I try to answer them all, but it's really hard nowadays. It was kind of easier a little bit before, but now they're pouring in so quickly, and most of them are all the same, you know, questions, and I've answered them all again. Maybe I should use like the community tab that we have for these common questions, so I think that's a little bit more easier. But yeah, if you have any questions how to build these micro homes that are actually quite huge, like this one, there is a tutorial. This is a reminder, there's a tutorial on my channel that explains the basic how this works, like, you know, how this works. And yeah, basically I just can recommend to watch that. I'm pretty sure there are also other tutorials by other YouTubers, so if you have any problems like following mine, just feel free to Google that and like look up how this works, because it's not that hard in my opinion. And yeah, I really hope that you like this video, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you like this build, and you can also, if you don't like it, give it a thumbs down, just so I can see on the thumbs up thumbs down ratio what I, you know, should not build again. What is not like in your interest, of course. And also for those who really like Sims 4 builds or have anything that they want to see rebuild, or just want to stay in contact, you know, want to see when I upload something, I would recommend to subscribe to my channel. Would mean a lot, of course, and it's totally free. And I think there's also like this option to become a member, which costs something. I have no idea, actually. I think you get like a special role on my Discord and you can chat with me like in real life. But yeah, I haven't looked into that much. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. This is these 8 sim micro home warehouse factory loft whatever thing. I really hope that you like this build, guys, and I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.